Hello and welcome to the Deborah Mann Show, the show that breaks all barriers and gives you a voice.
It actually shows them what's right from wrong.
Dogs don't bite.
I've come to London's Covent Garden to speak to the public to see how they feel about abortion.
Forget about the racist issue, because that's been talked about so many times, it's actually quite boring.
And will make them a well-balanced and disciplined person.
Racism actually means the dislike of someone of different colour or creed.
Can I ask you a question which is probably quite close to the bone?
Their little meager income.
The Deborah Mann Show is about debating controversial topics that you've always wanted to know the answers to, so that everyone is in the know. Today's discussion is on a very controversial subject, which is abortion.
At 17, I fell pregnant whilst being on the pill, and even though the decision was very, very difficult and not one that I took lightly, I opted for having a termination.
Life is a God-given gift.
Until that baby's umbilical cord gets cut from the mother, it's not sustaining its own life.
Did you all receive sexual education at school?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
You can have an abortion legally in England up to 24 weeks pregnant. Now that brings you to 6 months.
so it's not like you're taking life away, because until you cut that cord, you haven't really given it life.
Today's topic is political correctness and freedom of speech. What is political correctness? Well, it's first and foremost an attack on free speech, clear thinking and discussion. Let me tell you something. Why is it that you can't say the word black? Does that mean a black person must be ashamed of their color? Because if you say the word black, suddenly you're a racist.
So do you think it's appropriate to call someone a nigger?
Now, when I was a little girl, you had these little sweets, these little black balls, and they were called nigger balls. We used to eat these things, and they were called nigger balls. Now, I don't know why they were called nigger balls. I actually couldn't care less. I think it's absolute garbage.
And that's a perfect example of political correctness just gone madness.
So we've become basically a nanny state. Yes.
So the way the English versus the French, that's racism. Why is it just racism have to be about colour?
Just because somebody is stupid and happens to be black, or white for that matter, or mixed race, or Chinese, or that he polka dotted. What's the difference? He or she is stupid.
I don't see it, right? First of all, political correctness should be political crap.
Today we're discussing child labour.
It's the little kids of 6, 7, 8 years old with their small fingers who make the most delicate knots and give you the most expensive silk carpets.
We've got first world countries taking advantage, almost raping, so to speak, third world countries.
You're not going to undo 200 or 300 years of abuse.
Hold
But
on.
that's the way
I
it
don't
is.
think comparing a newspaper round to child labour in the third world, it's ridiculous.
We're not talking about giving a child a chance. We're talking about a child feeding its family.
I don't think there's personally anything wrong with it.
You can't
Exactly.
stop buying the goods. Hold on a second. You guys are living in La La Land if you think you can stop buying the goods, because the kids will go hungry. In Africa, there is a massive problem with HIV and AIDS. And mothers, the fathers, no longer exist. And you've got children 10, 12 years of age raising the family.
You're not stopping it in time,
You're
you're
advocating.
promoting it.
Today we're going to be talking about child discipline. Disciplining children is never easy. What is right in terms of the law? The current law in England and Wales allows parents to justify a common assault as reasonable punishment. It is impossible to smack a child and not leave a slight mark. If you smack someone on the skin like that, it's going to leave a mark.
We would like to say, to bring our on another point, we bring up our children to say that violence is not good. Violence is a bad thing.
Yes, but
then
smacking
at
the
the same
child is
time,
not
bringing them up,
violence.
it's okay to smack
Could
them.
I please comment on that? One thing that we have to make very clear, smacking is not
It's
violence.
not violence. Most parents, and I'm going to say this quite frankly, are Shocking.
I was in a boarding school, got caned. This cane is something that takes about 3 months to prepare. It's made out of cane that's been wrapped and dried in salt water. It's a whole process to it. I got smacked so hard in my ass that the cane bent around and broke my arm.
That was not smacking, that was abuse. Until next time, it's goodbye from me.